Hi everyone, good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is. Thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me channel. Wow, interesting one this morning. Restless nights. I know kind of like when I'm feeling a bit restless and a portal or a gateway is opening and lots of energy is coming in, and when lots of energy is coming in, it also means that some shite is coming out. I'd hate to kind of like put it in that way, but that's kind of like how it feels, that the light is pushing and pushing and pushing in, and it's pushing out kind of like old programs. But when it's pushing out old programs and it's illuminating them, they feel mighty uncomfortable to feel and to hold space for them. So this one is the One Up program. So it's a third dimensional program, part of living in third dimensionality. There's no right or wrong with any of these programs. We've lived in them for hundreds, thousands, possibly years. But as you're all now aware, now we're evolving into a fifth dimensional way of living. So the Atlanteans had already lived it for 1,000 years, or maybe even more, who knows. So One Up program. So you're in it when like for instance this morning, I kind of like witnessed this in traffic. So from a male perspective, so talking to a guy about this program, and this is how he explained it to me from a male perspective. It's about survival. It's a survival instinct, which is very much the ego coming in. So you have to get one up, because if you don't, if the other person gets one up, you're dead. So this is about survival. But we are coming into the whole of humanity into thriving and not surviving. So it's not really a sovereign way of thinking I've got to get one up on somebody because I might die. The sovereign way of thinking is, do you know what? I've died, 5-10 times, whatever it is, and I'm still coming back and I'm still doing this lesson, and the only time I won't come back is when I've actually learnt the lesson and I get to go somewhere else. So there's no judgment in being in these programs whatsoever, but it will manifest itself like this morning in traffic. There was a lady in front of me, lights went green, off she went, realised there wasn't enough space for her, and if she'd stayed there she'd have blocked traffic, reversed back to the traffic lights. So then the change, she went through, I went through, and then there's a guy in a big van behind me, and he was getting through. Those lights were green and he was getting through, he did not care, but because he had a large van, he did block everyone. So the lights had to go a couple of cycles and no one was going anywhere because he blocked all traffic. Because the One Up program, I have to get through, the lights are green, I have to go, I'm not thinking about what is going on with everyone else, I just have to get there, I just have to go, survival. So if you've got this program coming up, or you're playing in this program, you'll feel it in the root chakra system, which is your muscular skeletal system, bones. You may feel it in the teeth. You'll definitely feel it in the digestive system, because you'll be tired, because it's not a good way of managing energy. So what you're actually doing is you're kind of taking somebody else's energy to kind of like to build yours up, so to speak. And it depends on the other person, because they can protect their energy, and that's another thing. So again, from another perspective, so this is kind of like from a female perspective, just on the other side. Like I was asked to do something yesterday, and I people pleased, and I said yes, and I tossed and turned all night, because I really wanted to say no, but I had fears around saying no. I didn't feel safe to say no, and my husband knows how I feel before I'm feeling, but yet he still took it as a yes, even though he'll have known I didn't want to do it. I said no. And that is another one-up program. When you know the other person isn't on the same, but you still get one over on them anyway, you know, you still take. But whatever energy you are putting out, you're going to get right back. So yeah, you might get an influx of energy primarily, but then your energy is just going to deplete really, really quickly. So it's all about energy management. So really interesting dynamics about this one. It's been so complex to actually get my head around. I might have to do a few more videos around it. So you know you're in this program, particularly if you're in a business. If you're in a business, you'll want to literally invoice for every last cent and give as little as possible. But what ultimately you're going to receive back is, if you're putting as little possible in, you're going to get little as possible back, and you may not get your bill paid. And that could be with customers, you know, give a little but take a lot. You know, that dynamic isn't going to go on forever. You're going to find that karma is going to play out, and you're not going to get as much back as what you were thinking either. So if you give effort wise, you're going to get a lot of effort back. If you give energy, you're going to get a lot of energy back. That's how it works. We mirror the universe. Whatever we're putting out, the universe is going to give back. So if you're trying to get one up on somebody else, then they're going to try and get that one back on you as well. So you're going to get people trying to trip each other up to get one up. You're going to... people speaking over another person is another way of this. Not listening to another person, but wanting to speak over them, dominate them, another way of putting somebody down to build yourself up. That's another one up. Politicians, you know, that's not an evolved way of behaving at all. Putting somebody down. Just wait till the millennials come in and start kind of coming onto the stage. That's going to be fascinating, because it's just going to be a different program. So you think about the millennials as well, and people do scoff about this and kind of like can see it a little bit negatively. They got a reward just for showing up. You know, they didn't have to put any effort in, or, you know, they just got a reward anyway. But you know, they are realising they have put little effort in, because what's the point? You know, I'm going to get a reward anyway, what's the point? But they are realising in manifestation they've actually got to put some energy in to actually get it out. So they do have the attributes for these times. They do have the attributes to keep humanity moving forward. So watch this space with them. So that programme of getting an award for absolutely everything, it had a purpose and a use. You know, you're in this program when you're in your car and you just have to be further than the person in front of you. You have to be faster, bigger, better. You just have to be eat my dust kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with healthy competition. So when we are competing with ourselves, that's absolutely okay. You know, it's kind of going through the development process. But when you're having to put somebody down to get there, that's one up. That energy is going to come back to you. Somebody's going to put you down at some point. Whatever you put out, going to come back. So it's a divisive energy. It's not a united energy, which ain't where we're going. So if you have to put somebody down, or if you have to lower somebody to boost you up, you're gonna create your own suffering. That's all I'm saying. So I will leave this very complex program with you. If you're playing in it and find yourself playing in it, and we've all played in it, I've played in it, absolutely fine. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just recognise it, just see it. It's a program. So what? If you want to choose to come out of it, then it's, I think I've got a little affirmation for it. I allow everyone the same as me. I allow everyone to be on the same level as me. If I am progressing, then I will aid another person to progress, as long as they give permission and they're asking for the progression. So you be the shining light. So if you've done the work in order to get on top, this is different from the one-upmanship program. If you've done that work to get on top, then you're the lighthouse to get there, and other people can follow your light. That's different. So this is where it gets very complicated. Okay, I will leave my love with you. Have an amazing day. Take care, everyone, and love every single one of you equally. Take care. Bye.